That cliffhanger is making me see red. I'm so mad right now. I'm so mad. I love this series, but dude, I just wish that I had the original source. I wish I had the light novel actually to read. I talked about this last week, but I just need to nail that down. I really wish I had some content to read after these episodes end. Because I'm getting a little bit sick of these cliffhangers. They're giving me the bad middle finger every week. It's really getting me mad. Now, that's a good thing. That means you're enjoying the anime. You want to see more, which that is 10 out of 10 right there. That's very good. Still, as a person that is used to watching anime and having content to read past if I felt like it, it's so ironic. The first time I actually want to pass the anime, the source I'm currently started with, the first time in a long time I want to read past the content of the anime, I can't. And I'm like, because I want to know so bad, and I can't. It sucks. You know, amongst my stress of not having the content because I couldn't find, the next part, I couldn't find a light novel translator or anything, I came across that there is apparently a web series of ReZero. Yeah, apparently ReZero has like 200 or 300 fucking chapters. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, seriously, there's a web comic series similar to One Punch Man, and I'm like, what the fuck? So, I was really surprised to find out that there was something beyond the light novel, and I'm like, damn, why isn't this being translated? So, why isn't there no translations? Anyways, okay, enough of that. Let me just talk about the content of this said episode, because I'll be on it all day, because damn it, I love ReZero so much. It's a series I love every Sunday to watch, and it's a perfect way to just wrap up the day, besides Game of Thrones, of course. But this right here, this episode, it's progression. That's exactly what this is. Like, quick summary, if I had to say one word, progression, because finally, for the first time in a long time, since like the second half of the first part of the series started, Subaru is now actually making progression. He didn't die after the events of last week's episode. He still continued to breathe, but there is their own problems. Like, there's problems still turning up in this episode. For one, Subaru has been cursed, and this curse is a lot different than how it was in the past, with just one bite. With the curse that's currently on him right now, it's so complex, and the only way to really get rid of the curse is to kill all of the little, mutant demon dogs. That's the only way to actually get rid of the curse, to kill the original source of the curse. So, obviously, thinking about that, that's rather hard, because it's a big-ass forest, there's a lot of those dogs that bit him, and, you're gonna have to go hunting down quite a bit. It'll be a very hard job to do, so it seems like it's very hard. Chances of Subaru living are very, very low. So, of course, he's gonna have to put in a lot of work, and that's exactly where the next route is currently taking us. He's having to figure out how he could, still help out the maid twins, while also trying to save his life. And it's very different, actually, from some of the recent events in the anime, because if we think about it, in the recent episodes, it's been about Subaru trying to save the maids and stop them from getting cursed or someone else from dying. I mean, at first it was him dying over and over, but then it kind of switched over into him trying to save others. And it's back to how it used to be. For instance, him trying to save himself before he dies. Or the actual main focus of this episode was to save Subaru. It wasn't about, I'm gonna die in the process of things, or, someone else is gonna die alongside of me. It's not really like that. Now, that could happen. People could probably die. One of the maids could possibly die next to Subaru. But at this time, the main core, I guess, content of this episode was about saving him. And that's like a first, actually, for ReZero. Kind of ironic if you think about a series about a character that always dies, and then he resets and relives to try to survive. It hasn't always just been focused on him. It's been him trying to save others in the process from dying as well. And this time, it's just focused on him. He's got to save his ass before he dies. So I like that. I really like, the context of this, episode. It was really a little bit different from normal, and it also got me more engaged because it was a little bit different. He's like, I gotta save myself. It's not about me just saving everybody else, but I gotta save myself too. So I like that. Anyways, talking about some things, we found out more about demons, like how demons work in ReZero. Apparently, demons are born with 2 horns. Now, demons can be born with 1 horn if they are twins, for instance, Rim and Rom. It's if they're twins, the horns are split up between them. Like a normal demon would have 2 horns, like a regular demon we normally see in mythology. Well, in this, though, if there's twins, the horns that usually be for one person split up into the 2 different beings, and that's kind of what happens. If the horn is removed, they lose their ability to use the, like, demonic transformation. So we get to see how one of the sisters cannot actually use the demonic power, and it explains, like, the power gap between these sisters and the relationship. We got a brief flashback of whatever happened, how the horn was removed, but it wasn't really completely dived into, so there's probably a lot more context to that scene, and we need to find out later on. Most likely after the end of this little mini, I guess, arc, this next part or whatever, we're probably going to find out more information about it. But however, though, finding out now how demons work was really fascinating. I love it when there's some world building and stuff going on in series like this, especially a series I really enjoy. And seeing the content in this episode with finding out more about how the demon transformation works, how they can heal very fast, and also how they can kind of lose their sanity when they are continuously using this ability, it's pretty cool, because, I mean, we get to see where Subaru almost died, and I'm willing to bet that brought back some serious PTSD. I mean, we already know he was freaking out the other episode beforehand when he saw the weapon, but then in this episode, he dodges it. I mean, if you would have probably never have saw that weapon to begin with, and that was the weapon that killed him, I'm willing to bet he might have gotten hit by it, because he wouldn't have expected the fast reaction speed of it. Still, it's just kind of crazy, though. Even in the action, like, the action in this episode was really on point. Animation, action, all that, very nice, and I enjoyed it from start to finish. The episode felt like 4 minutes to me. It really did. And as I've always said, anytime I watch an episode and it feels like that, it means it's a good episode. I was entertained, and that's all I want out of a series. I want entertainment, and that's exactly what it gave to me. It felt like a short episode, which wasn't bad. It just means I enjoyed it to that degree, and which makes the cliffhangers hurt so much worse, because you want more content. So yeah, overall episode, I like what direction it went. I wonder if Subaru waking up in the bed at the beginning of this episode was implying that that's the new checkpoint. I'm curious about that, because that would mean that at the end of this episode, he might die. There's a possibility he's going to die. And we'll see where that goes right there, because, I mean, he woke up out of the bed, and if we go back to how, you know, ReZero has kind of been in recent times, or how it's been in each arc we've gotten, usually Subaru wakes up or something's going on. I mean, the first one was him kind of coming conscious from, you know, his restart in front of the merchant. The second one, what the main focus of this later half of ReZero was focusing on him waking up out of the bed, and then in this one, he wakes up out of the bed as well. So I'm curious if that was another checkpoint, or if he was to die now, would he go all the way back to the beginning? That's another thing, too. I mean, just imagine, if he was to die at this moment, it's just hypothetical. Let's just say he does die, even if he lives, okay? Let's just say he lives, he's fine. If he was to die right now, would that bed scene he got, is that a checkpoint? If that's not a checkpoint, that would mean that he has so much more to lose. It would be absolutely ridiculous to lose all that time he had when making the maids trust him, and then, you know, going out there to save the children, and then ending up in bed, and then also finding out that he's cursed completely. That right there would have been absolutely ridiculous. Imagine how he would feel if he realized he had to redo all that. That's like something like you get to the in-game boss. Like, imagine if you're doing a playthrough for, like, oh god, let's say you're playing for 9 hours straight on a game. 9 hours. And you went from, like, the second boss in the game all the way to the final boss, and then your power cuts out. Your fucking power just cuts out. And you had auto-save off, so you had to manually save, but you forgot to save. What the fuck you think is gonna happen? You're resetting all that damn progress back to the start, and you're like, fuck. You know, just, that's kind of how I would feel if I was Subaru. All this progress you made just getting reset because you decide not to save. Now, of course, he can't control his save points or checkpoints or whatever, but you get the point I'm getting at. What if he was to die, how far would he go back? How does he get a checkpoint exactly? I wish that was clarified. I wish we kind of knew how Subaru got checkpoints. Is it if he encounters a situation where he almost dies, and then he gets kind of brought back? Does that mean that that's a checkpoint? I'm curious about that as well. So, overall though, episode, rather enjoyable. Can't wait to see how next week's episode is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. Oh my god, I wish this series would stop with the cliffhangers. Please be safe. Chibi out.